November 13, 1944. Dear Mom, yep, we were moved to France. It isn't too bad over here. Of course, the social life isn't so good, but we aren't over here for the social activities, are we? We are having quite a bit of trouble with this language. We use the sign language more or less to make ourselves understood. I visited the city of Marseille the other day. It is a lousy town. It is beat up quite a bit. I'm sending you two pieces of fabric from German planes. The gray piece is from an ME-109 fighter plane, and the black is off the wing of an HE-111 bomber. We see a lot of these planes in junk piles. That is the best place for them, believe me. Before I left England, I visited London. I saw them change the guard at Buckingham Palace. This ceremony took well over an hour. Those limeys are really sharp, though. I went to several dances given by the Red Cross. I saw a lot of historical sites. Oh, yes, and I got my battle jacket I was raving about. I just got done taking what we used to call a bird bath. Remember? We don't have any hot water for our showers, so we heat a bucket and put that in the sink and bathe in the sink. Cleansing isn't anyhow, isn't it? Since I'm not near any good towns, I am letting a buddy of mine get you and Jenny something. I hope you like it. You don't have to get me anything except some of this stationery and some airmail stamps, 6 centers. They are hard to find here. I'm not spending much money here, so I will send a lot home for our future use. We are doing okay, aren't we? Your Jim. November 16, 1944. Dear Mom, I am sending you a picture of your pinup boy and his friend. It was taken by a couple of street photographers with very crude cameras. They print and develop the pictures right outside. It is a wonder that they turn out this good. Note, the bags under my eyes aren't quite that big. We went to the cinema last night and saw Blondie and Dagwood. Here is the amazing feature. They cut the American soundtrack out and put in a French one instead. It was really clever. Their lips would move and the French would come out at the same time. It was nice to see, but after a while it got on your nerves. They had an American cartoon on too, but they didn't change it to French. It was worth the price just to see that. About all we do at night is go downtown and drink a couple glasses of wine, then come back and hit the sack. My French is getting better, I think. If they talk slow, I can understand a few words now and then. We have French maids clean up our rooms. The funny part about this is about all of them are named Rosie. They talk so fast you can't understand anything they say. We live in a beautiful little 2-story chateau. The Yanks ran the Germans out so fast that they didn't get to do too much damage to it. But most of the windows were out. Our room didn't have any lights. All they was lacking was a socket, so I proceeded to make one with 5 nails and a block of wood. The funny part about it is it works. For the past few nights, I have been trying to capture a mouse. I think that darn thing is the noisiest and also the cleverest one I have had the misfortune of being disturbed by. As I wrote before, I can't send much of an Xmas present, but my buddy, who is stationed near a big city, is taking care of my problems for me. How well, I do not know. Well, I guess this is it for now. Take good care of B.I. and make her learn her lessons well. Take it easy yourself. Your Jim. November 22, 1944. Dear Mom, how is every little thing and also every big thing? The other day I visited Rome and Naples, Italy. This makes 3 countries' capitals I have visited over here. That is really getting around, isn't it? Of the 3 capitals, Paris is undoubtedly the more picturesque. Rome is the smallest in size, it seems. We saw Mount Vesuvius, Vatican City, the Colosseum, and many other famous geographical and historical scenes. This is the only way to tour the world, I think. Say, Mom, I get about 7 packs of cigarettes a week, and I don't use them, so I was figuring on sending them home. That would be about 3 cartons a month. Let me know if it's up to you. I know it is very hard to get them in the States. Mom, did I ever tell you what a short snorter is? Well, it is paper money collected from different countries in which a flyer goes. All these notes are fastened together end to end, and he gets his buddies and acquaintances to sign it. You should see mine now. If you can get any, will you send me some Scotch tape? You know, that cellophane tape? Thanks. I still haven't got any mail, but possibly tonight is the night. I surely hope so. I was talking to our flight commander today. He is figuring on riding with me, so it won't be long till I check out in the Goonie Bird. Then I'll get a little first pilot time instead of all co-pilot time. Goody. Your Jim. November 29, 1944. Dear Mom, here 'tis again. I spent a couple of days in Paris again. I did quite a bit of sightseeing and shopping. About a dozen of us fellows went night clubbing. We hit numerous hot spots. I have heard a lot about champagne, so decided to try some. It isn't anything unusual, but it isn't bad. We rode in one of those bicycle taxis. It consists of a tandem bike with a little enclosure on wheels, capacity 2 normal-sized customers. Boy, do they ever go in for their floor shows. Wow, they are really good, too. I'm sending you a Christmas card I picked up in Paris. I hope you like it. I bought me a cheap camera, too. I will be sending you a few pictures now and then. I finally got my battle jacket I had made in London. It really is exquisite, too. I like it a heck of a lot better than my blouse. I think you will, too. I saw an American Picture at the Red Cross Theater yesterday. It was Holiday Inn. This was only the 4th time I have seen it. Bing is in it, so it is always good. I did a little dancing in Paris. These frogs want and try to dance, but they are definitely lousy. About as bad as the West Texas women. Gee, Mom, when I get home, I'll have so darn much to tell you. I have a little time to make up with Jenny, too. I'll probably be in my second childhood, or maybe third, when I do get home. Things are looking good over here, though. If they keep lightening up, I'll be home next Christmas. Keep 'em crossed. Your Jim. December 7, 1944. Dear Mom and Kid, this letter is merely what the name letter implies. Take it if you get it, or, as the case may be, leave it. I want to ask of you a favor. Will you, as Caesar would say, lend me your ears? I wish to talk at you. Yesterday I had a surprise. I got a letter from you. It was dated November 20. So you see, until I get the back mail, I am a bit in the dark as to what has been going on. The scene changes. We go from the ridiculous to the sublime. Curtain. The other night I was downtown and I ran into a couple merchant marines. I was very much taken by surprise when I discovered one of them is from that town in the land of paradise, Bel Air, Ohio. His name is Chester Yonker. When he comes home, he is going to drop in on you and bring some junk for you and Jenny from me. Good deal, huh? Mom, you should see the bunch of pipes I have now, all kinds and descriptions. You'll throw me out when I come barging in with all my junk. Well, how is my big sis coming along? Okay, I hope. Gee, it won't be very long till she is in school, will it? Such is life, I guess. Give everybody my best, especially the feller. We just got our officers' club started this week. Boy, is it pretty nice. We don't have much equipment, but it still ain't bad. I have an invite from the captain of Chet's ship for Sunday dinner. The old boy likes me. He gave me an Italian pipe and showed me all his junk. He is about 57. A lot of the boys don't like him, but he is a good Joe. Well, take it easy. I feel better now that I'm getting a little mail. Your Jim. P.S. Here's some dough and pictures. December 13, 1944. Dear Mom, about now I should be writing, so I am. I have now received about 6 letters from you and the Christmas cards from you and Sis. I have been away for several days and am getting caught up on my correspondence again. You know those stamps you sent were stuck to the letter. Mom, you don't have to send stamps because we can get them easy. Gee, I hated to hear about Grandpa dying. I guess under the circumstances it was best. Say, I'll bet that wagon deal with B.I. was funny. I wish I could have gotten her something, but you get her something nice for me. Those pies you write about making at Aunt Cora's sound zoot. Boy, when I come home, you had better have a few on hand for the kid. Who's the kid? Me. I got my first letter from Jenny the other day. Gee, she sure can write. To read her letters makes me feel like I can whip the world. She is a wonderful person, believe me. It is hard to believe that I know such a girl. Hey, what's the big idea running yourself down by saying I'm an old woman and all that slush? Get those ideas out of your head. I think you're a cute kid. About the eyes, Paul had trouble with his, and he wasn't old, was he? Okay, then. Say, it seems that everyone is going hunting, so I guess the boy will have to do likewise. Hunt what? Well, I'll tell you. We have a mess of little cottontails here, just like back home. If that gets tiring, we can go out and shoot some of those no-good Frenchies. Same difference, of course. You can't eat the Frenchies. I saw a play the other day. It was sponsored by the USO. It was Junior Miss. It played New York for over 2 years. In fact, it was playing there when I was up there. It had a lot of the same actors. It was swell, too. Well, kid, take it easy. And about the bonds, use your own judgment, as the money is good either way. Be good. Your Jim. December 16, 1944. Dear Mom, we are on a trip and I am writing this in the ship. We have been away from our base for a few days and I am eager to get back and get my mail, I hope. I was in London the other night again. We had a nice room in a hotel, so we didn't do much. We went to a Chinese joint and had a good old Oriental tummy filler. We then went to the movie and saw a good American film. This was a treat for us, as about all we see usually is frog movies. I had my picture taken at a photographer's the other day, but haven't had a chance to see the proofs as yet. Boy, is it confusing coming over to England after being in France. The money really gets you balled up. French money is simple compared to the limey dinero. Some of the boys that came over with me are going back to the States. None of them out of our squadron has, though. We may a little later. If we do come back, they will probably send us to some hole. I think I would just as soon stay here in a case like that. You may be optimistic if you like, but take it easy. I really like this squadron, and I would sort of hate to leave it for a wild goose chase. Blame me? My boy Chet left for where? I'll bet you will get a kick out of talking to him when he drops in. He will tell you a few things that will interest you, I'm sure. We are about 5,000 feet at the present time, and the air is a little bumpy, so you'll have to excuse the writing. This is a real airmail letter, written in and sent by air. Mom, how much do we have in the bank now? No, I don't need any. I'm just curious. We got all our old debts paid? I think we are really and truly on the beam now. It'll be a downhill row from here, huh? Well, I'll sign off for now. Your Jim. December 26, 1944. Dear Mom, well, I'm finally back from my extended tour of London and vicinity. I had a swell time, thanks to the weatherman, but was glad to get back. When I got back, I had a lot of mail, but as yet have not received the packages you sent. They take longer than letters, though. Christmas was by far not the best, or by not as far the worst, but it was unusual. How so, I can't say in a letter. You remind me when I get home, and I will elate to you the facts. We had the usual good things to eat, including turkey, cranberries, and dressing. After that, we all had the usual tummy aches, which endowed to make it a very Christmas-like Christmas, even under the circumstances. We are having the winter cold, but with beautiful sunshine and no snow. Why would I say no on the rug deal? You know more about such matters than I do. Thanks for the stamps. You don't have to send any more, as I get them fairly easy now. Thanks again. While in London, I saw about all of the late movies and 3 plays. I had quite a good time and also spent a good bit of pounds, $4 notes. In England, this, the day after Christmas, is called Boxing Day. It is the day when all of your relatives come in to see your presents and eat up your candy. Thanks for BS, Bill Swisher's address. I might drop he a line one day. While in London, I went inside Westminster Abbey. They have all the big shots buried in the floor with a cement stone inscribed with their names and who and what they did. These are in groups too, such as kings, statesmen, literary men, etc. It is very interesting. Mom, did you ever show Jenny those pictures we took when I was home? She would probably like to have some of them. I have been hearing from her quite a bit, and I'm glad too. Well, Mom, I'll shut it off for now. Take it easy. Your Jim. December 29, 1944. Dear Mom, there is a lot of rumors to the effect that the boys who belong to ATC, Air Transport Command, that's the guys with me, are going back to ATC. If that happens, it will mean more changing of addresses. Gee, I'm glad to hear that old man feller got his deer. I still vow to go with him someday. We're starting to have American movies every night. It costs 10 francs, 20 cents to get in. The pictures, as a rule, are pretty fair too. Speaking of pennies, BI should have English ones. They are about the size of quarters and are worth approximately 2 cents. She would have a little trouble carrying them around, though. You ask who that is with me in the picture. It is my cellmate, W.O. Preston, from Connecticut, USA. He's a good boy, too, believe me. Your letter I got today was dated 12/19/44. 10 days, that isn't half bad, is it? Say, it seems all the Joes got home for Christmas except a few million of us who didn't live right. It's good to see some people get the breaks. What am I yelling about? I could be worse off. Boy, we are really getting up in there with the cash, huh? We will probably be darn glad that we put a little aside, won't we? Gee, that was swell of you to have that little kid in for Christmas. I'll bet he really enjoyed himself. You ask about Rosie, our maid. She is as ugly as homemade sin. Most of these women are short, squatty creatures. They eat numerous quantities of onions, which adds essence to their charms. Well, it is 11 p.m., so I had better throw out the cat. Good night, my family. Your Jim.